Hello, everyone. Excuse me, and welcome to another episode of Strong Draws. My name is Brett Strong, and today I'm going to be working on a magazine cover. Um, Heavy Metal Magazine was having a contest for artists to submit cover ideas, and so I thought I would enter. However, with I'm currently working on a book for No Gravity Studios called Light Earth, and my deadline got pushed up, so unfortunately I didn't get to finish this in time to enter because I believe it ended on May 6th. So anyway, kind of sucks, but stuff like this happens. So I did record it, so I thought I'd share it with you guys. I'll put the pencils up on my Facebook page as soon as I post this video. But so if you want to check it out, you can head over there. So I kind of, for whatever reason, I've never really read Heavy Metal Magazine. I did see the animated movie years ago, so I kind of looked at Google search of them and of the old covers, and just to kind of get an idea. And I guess the concept I came up with was this tradition versus technology kind of idea. So basically, we're gonna have kind of a hot girl with a kind of futuristic ninja and a samurai. And so, yeah, I thought it was kind of a cool idea, but like I said, who knows what might have happened if I had time to finish it. So, anyway, um, kind of what I wanted to talk about today, I guess, because I've been seeing this a lot on Facebook, and because I'm part of a bunch of groups on Facebook, mostly artists and comic book artists oriented, and it's a lot of fun to be a part of those kind of communities online, because you get to see a lot of cool artwork, you get to meet a lot of really great people, and all this good stuff. The one thing I keep, I don't know, it seems like I see it a lot, or I've even been asked by a few people over the past year, 6 months or so, dealing with artist block, I guess you could call it. They want to sit. They want to draw, but they sit down and they don't know what to draw. And so, like I said, I've been asked. I'm sure we've all kind of run into this to an extent, or maybe been asked about it, or it's a term that we all kind of are familiar with. And so, like I said, I've been asked, how do you ever have it? How do you get past it? What's the, is there a secret to it? What do you do? And personally, for me, I've seen it. Like I said, I've been seeing it a lot lately as people posting in these groups is like, what should I draw next? Or pictures of their sketchbooks, or memes, or little cartoons, kind of basically describing the frustration of artist block. And I guess personally for me, I haven't really run into it for, oh, it's been several years, I think, at this point. I can't remember the last time I wanted to sit down to draw and didn't know what to draw. But for me personally, especially as of late, I'm always working on comics. And so, like I said, I'm doing this book, Light Earth. I got 3 issues of that I've been commissioned to do. I have my book, my graphic novel Elizabeth, to do, which I still plan to get done and just work on. Before that, I was working on a book with a friend, my friend Nick Rivers, called The New Breed. Before that, I was doing a graphic novel called Cursed Mountain for a company out in New York. And before that, I was even working on another title of my own called Tactus. So over the past several years, I've always had some kind of comic book work, whether it was personal or commissioned. So artist block, I guess, I think that has something to do with it, is I always have something to draw. Because one way or another I make sure I have something to do. But for younger artists, or people who are just learning or wanting to improve, or I don't know, don't feel that they are writers or want to write their own comics, or just want to be pinup artists, or whatever the situation may be that run into this. The thing I found, or at least the thing I do is, like, even when I'm not working on comics work, if I'm just sitting and watching TV, or if I'm sitting in my room at night and just feel like drawing, if I can't come up with something to draw, such as a certain character or whatever it may be, the thing I always have done is I'll do character studies, or figure studies, things of just the boring work that nobody really likes to do for some reason. I mean, personally, I enjoy, working on gestures, or working off of photo reference to improve, your anatomy, or your, faces, or hair, or cars, or buildings, or whatever. Because when you're working in comics, you have to draw everything, and so you have to practice drawing everything. So I guess what I'm kind of saying is, if you're running into artist block, or you sit down and you don't know what to draw, sit down, do your studies, do figure studies, because one of two things is going to happen, and both of them are great. You're either going to learn to draw something you didn't know how to draw before, you're going to learn how to draw something better than you did before, or in the case of, like, you're sitting doing, like, figure studies, you're going to come, you sit and draw on this person, or gestures, or a pose, and you come up with something that turns into something else that you can sit and refine and draw better later, draw more of a finished product later. I mean, personally for me, I don't like the term artist block, because I don't think there's really such a thing. There's things where you sit and you don't know how to draw something, or you keep drawing the same thing over and over. I think the only way to break out of that is to draw something that you're not comfortable with, and that's where the study part comes in. So if you're an artist out there and you're running into this problem, like, I don't know what to draw, do your studies. Do the things that nobody wants to do anymore for some reason. Sit and study anatomy. Go on Google and just image search human anatomy, search whatever it is. If you want to learn to draw women better, look up Google searches of models or images of women, or if you want to learn to do the big muscular guys better, look Google search bodybuilders, wrestlers, whatever. If you want to learn how to do you want to work on your lighting, look up lighting reference. I mean, and just study that stuff. Because again, what's going to happen is you're either going to get better, you're going to learn something new, or it's going to turn into something that's going to actually work for you. Or, it's going to spur an idea for you. So, if you're having artist block, or you sit down and you're like, I don't know what I want to draw the boring stuff. There's a really good websites. I don't know the actual email address, but I think if you go on Google and you search Sketch Reference Daily, it's a great little website that you can go to. They have thousands of pictures of models, male, female, nude, clothed, whatever it is you're looking to do, and you can go and you can categorize it however you want into subsections, and you can set a timer for 5, 10, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, I think. It's been a while since I've been on the site. And what it does is it brings up an image, and then after 5 minutes it gives you, whatever you set the timer at, it gives you another image, and then it just kind of keeps repeating that. And what you do is you just sit and you just sketch whatever image they bring up for you. as fast, but kind of as fast as you can, but or for however long. But what it does, again, it teaches you to get better. It teaches you to get faster, and it kind of takes your brain out of it to a certain extent, and it just becomes muscle memory at a certain point. Or it gives you, since you have to do it so fast, you kind of learn your way of breaking down the figure and seeing the figure. So for all those, so like I said, I've just been seeing that a lot lately. I thought I'd share my thoughts on that. So also another great, excuse me, way of doing, or getting better or getting past artist block. Again, these groups, there's one on DeviantArt in particular that I was a part of years ago. And they are still around as far as I know. I don't get to go to Deviant quite as much as I used to. It's a group called Battle Artists. It's a fun little group. Every week they, you throw your hat in the ring, so to speak, is they put up a notification saying, this week's battle is going to start soon. You like the image or favorite the image, whatever it is. And then they, day or two later, announce what you're going to be drawing for that week. And it could be anime, it could be comics, it could be movies, it could be sci-fi. They break it down into categories. And then you get a week to draw the picture, paint it, whatever, they're not exclusive comic work. So you can do whatever medium, whatever style you want, and then you submit it within that week, and then you go up against another artist that had to draw the same thing, and then they judge you and decide winners and all this stuff. Fun little group if you don't take it too seriously. I ran into a lot of hard feelings and jealousies and stuff, which was uncommon, but an annoyance, of course. I mean, everybody, you have to be open to the fact that you are not going to win every time and be gracious. And I mean, I joined it because I was looking to draw things I haven't drawn before, and to just improve overall of my composition, speed, and get the feedback from people so that I could see what I was doing wrong, and be part of a community, part of a group. It was a lot of fun. So if they're still up and running, I highly recommend going to there. If they give you, like I said, they give you a different subject each week. It's a lot of, again, it can be a lot of fun if you go in with the right attitude. So yeah, so again, that's just kind of my opinion. If you can't think of what to draw, very simply, draw from reference and just improve your technical ability, and then later on you can move on to applying that to the final work when it gets time to do it. So with this cover, I did, as you can see, I did pretty much a full drawing of this samurai before, but the composition was kind of bugging me and I wasn't really happy with it. So what I did is I decided just to kind of start over and do a different pose to see if I liked it a little bit better than the first one. So here I'm just kind of working that up. And stuff like this is a lot of fun too, and also a great way to hope you break that, is to enter these contests or keep your eyes open for stuff like this. Because when I was doing this, I didn't read the magazine, I don't know much about it. I've been aware of it, and the covers are usually, hot girls in sci-fi influenced environments, so to speak, or monsters or whatever. So, but when I sat down to do this, I don't generally do pinups like this. I prefer doing sequential pages, covers, and stuff, but just pinups is not something that really appeals to me too much anymore. I prefer to do to tell stories a little bit more. So, but this was kind of a cool little exercise in character design, kind of just making stuff up on the fly as I went. Nothing too preconceived, just kind of spur of the moment. What can I make out of this kind of thing? And you could, I probably should have mentioned this in the beginning, but if you watch when you watch the video, if you go back when I was drawing the girl, the first version I drew of her was pretty much a very boring, quote unquote, boring figure of a woman, because I wanted to start with the platonic version of that. Like, she was very anatomically correct. It almost looked like if you were to pull a model out of like a 3D pro or a poser program, where you just put them in the pose you want and then you stylize it to your taste from there. So that, that's pretty much what I did. I just started with very anatomically correct, boring figure drawing, and then expanded on that. And what that does is it gives you the foundation that you need. And then when you go off and start, especially digitally, you can, again, digital makes this real easy. Because if I made a new layer on top of that and drew on top of that and didn't like what I was doing, I could wipe it out and I still have this platonic, normal figure pose woman that I could build off again and start over and all this good stuff. Luckily, it came out almost, I think, pretty close to what I was looking for in the first try. So, but you can do that traditionally. You can do it with tracing paper and a light box, which is something I used to do a lot of, and I recommend doing if you're, I don't want to say not confident, but at the time, I don't know. I guess I'm never fully confident in what I do to an extent. I mean, I feel like I know what I'm doing, and I feel like I know that I'm going to get to where I want it to be eventually, but I would never say I have that 100% confidence of it right away. So even, today, like, working with layers is real easy digitally, but if I were doing this on paper, I would have drawn that original figure onto either a piece of paper or a piece of tracing paper, and then I would have light boxed over top of it. Probably even 2 or 3 times, as I would take the original, put it down, put another paper on top of it, draw what I want, and then if I ended up liking that, then I would actually transfer it to the final board that way. Like I said, digital, the process I do for this isn't a whole lot different than I would do traditionally. It just is a lot quicker this way. So, anyway, looks like we're about to wrap up here. About to get to the end. So, if you guys want to see the final version, again, it will be on my Facebook page. So you can head over there and check it out. I think next week I'm going to get back to doing tutorial videos again. I think I'm going to cover arms this next time around. So if you have any questions or anything that you want to see covered, or anything you think I could help you out with as far as, drawing either anatomy or whatever it is, comment down below. Otherwise, I will be back next week, and we'll see you guys later. Have a good one. Bye.